Hey, it's Mark. I'm going to be doing a Halloween horror movie pick for the season, and I am doing Stephen King's The Mist, one of my favorite horror movies. This movie is directed by Frank Darabont, who did the two critically acclaimed adaptations, Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile. This is the third Stephen King movie, and I do love it. It's a kind of an homage to the B-level horror movies, but what I really like about it is how much it really examines human nature and how plausible a lot of the reactions are. What it's basically about is that people are stuck in a supermarket where there's this real creepy fog on the outside with strange creatures in it. And they're basically just trying to survive. It's a pretty simple plot, but I do like the human aspects that it examines. And other than one really outrageous religious person, most of it feels really plausible and authentic. It's also got probably one of the most shocking endings I've ever seen, to the point where Stephen King said, I like that ending a lot better than my book. So give it a try. I think it's really good, and I'm going to recommend it. Hey, it's Mark doing another pick for Halloween. I do have another Stephen King movie. I swear I do not watch only Stephen King, but I find this one very underrated. This one is 1408. This is a adaptation of a short story that he did, and this is my go-to recommendation for people who may be a little more squeamish, who don't want all the violence or blood of traditional horror movie. This one is PG-13, but it does have a few jump scares, very little blood. The basic idea is John Cusack plays a man who does reviews of paranormal hotels and spooky places, and he gets a postcard telling him not to stay in room 1408 in this hotel in New York, and he goes and he stays. And what basically follows is just mostly John Cusack on screen by himself. And what I really like about this is how gradual the movie kind of goes. He stays in this room overnight and attempt to kind of review it, and a lot of weird stuff starts to happen. And it starts to get really personal. So there is a good emphasis on character and personal tragedy in this movie. It's really good to watch. It has a theatrical and a director's cut edition. I think both are good, though I prefer the director's cut. And like I said, this is my go-to if you're looking for something a little more low level. Probably safe for teens. But 1408 is a very underrated Stephen King adaptation and a very good recommendation. Hey, it's Mark with another Halloween season pick. This time I have The Babadook. This is an Australian horror movie, and this is kind of my go-to for somebody who wants more of an artistic, maybe I would even say intellectual type of movie. It definitely has something to say. It deals a lot with different themes such as depression. There's a widow here, and she's raising her son by herself, and then the son, who has some issues, starts to see a monster, and what the monster is and what it does and where it came from. Well, that's where the more artistic part kind of comes in. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, something that's good for conversation, something to think about, I would go with The Babadook.